Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist, the weekly show where we aim to talk about games but then often end up going on wild tangents, like this week, with Resident Evil 2 ready to tear our nerves to shreds on PS4. We got thinking about how we'd survive an actual real-life zombie apocalypse. The scenario is this: we're in the office, it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've just heard on the news that hordes of undead are rampaging across the country. Rosie, what would you do? Go!
Alright, how to survive a zombie apocalypse. I hate this question because a zombie apocalypse is actually one of my biggest fears in life. Zombie, like, you know, people are like, oh, I'm scared of aliens, I'm scared of... Mine is genuinely zombies.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, who's scared of aliens?
I know one person who's scared of aliens, and the whole idea of that they're better than us, and they're gonna come down and then we're all gonna get eaten by these aliens.
There's a bit of a complex there.
The aliens better.
Almost certainly better than us.
But I would probably survive a zombie apocalypse by...
I like your confidence. I would survive.
So I would survive. I'll try to survive. I don't even know if because I'm conflicted whether at first you sort of prioritise your family or if you kind of just do your own route, because obviously everyone loves their family, but you know, as you get older, you sort of you go to different locations. So if I wanted to see my family, I'd have to like try and take a train or something, which is not the best idea in a zombie apocalypse.
Are you stealing this train, or are the trains still running in your zombie apocalypse?
Well, that's the thing as well, they're probably not running.
They don't run that well at the moment. If there are any leaves on the line, I don't know how they'll deal with zombies.
Or it's like, because if the trains were running, let's say this is early into the zombie apocalypse, and we all kind of knew it was going to happen, they're going to be packed with other people having the same idea.
They are.
So it might just be a case of like keeping in touch with my family via the phone. I mean, we've got like phone networks now with contracts and stuff, so hopefully they'll still just automatically keep on going for a bit.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
This is like the perfect zombie world for me. So I would...
4G is working in this zombie. In your apocalypse, basically all the infrastructure that exists just carries on. But there are zombies. I'd like to play this game.
Yeah, if anyone needs a game for this, just get in touch with me. You know, we can work something out. So try and keep in touch with family, but I would trust probably one other person.
Right.
And I try not to get separated from them. Like, you know, in Resident Evil 2, it's unfortunate that Claire and Leon get separated because coincidentally there's a giant zombie truck and it just separates them.
Right.
But you know how like you get in Scooby-Doo and then they're always like, let's split up and look for clues.
Yeah.
I would not split up. I would try and keep like people together, or trust that one person who I trust with my life, and I'd always try and stay with them.
Have you already decided who this person is? I mean, what if we're at work one day, it's about 2 o'clock, we've just had lunch, and then breaking news, zombie apocalypse, and we're all looking around at each other. Are you thinking, I'm going to pick one of you guys to trust, only one? Or are you thinking, I've got to go and get to my trusted person, they're elsewhere? Or, you know, what are you saying?
We'll get your work done first.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'll edit the video first and then I'll go.
I'd
probably try and get back home.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Rosie. Cool.
See you, Dave.
You'd all do the same. You'd all do the same. I can imagine, like, it all happens, then you all just be like, I've got to go home early. And then you all just sort of go, just one at a time.
I've only been here 3 months, you already know that so very well.
Yeah, well, of course, Nath wouldn't be there anyway. He's already at home. So
Yeah, he's already at home.
he's put his zombie apocalypse plan into action already. So.
And my weapon of choice, I'd probably at first go for something that you can swing, just for like brutal kind of force to the head or something like that. I'm not the strongest person in the world. I mean, like, you can see my arms, they're like not that chunker.
Yeah.
But I would try and give a good blow to the head where I can,
So
and
you
then
go with a melee weapon.
yeah, and then if I can pick up a gun, then I would.
Yeah.
I pick up a gun, maybe like get as much ammo as I can, and then kind of use it as an option 2, like if I need to, because ammo is going to be scarce in this environment. So
It is in this country.
I mean, it's Britain, isn't it? So
Yeah.
well, yeah, of course, yeah. So so I'd probably then use that as like serious jobs. Let's say there's a big mutant zombie.
Oh,
and
God.
yeah, I know. Woof.
Right.
And then like
I
you're
love how much you're just applying games to this. Like, I'd probably find a gun and I'd stockpile all my best ammo, and I wouldn't use it unless there was a big zombie.
a big
Find some herbs,
Yeah.
find a key.
put it in my like briefcase, all inventory being lovely.
That's a well thought out plan, really.
Is it?
Like
Do you think I'd survive?
you thought of me. I think you probably would. I think your biggest threat would come not from zombies, but from other people. I think because your whole plan seems to be predicated on trust.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Other people.
Are you trying to say, Rob, that the Walking Dead aren't the zombies?
Oh,
It's Well, it's quite a broad question, isn't it? And do you want to get the jokes out of the way already? Like, oh, you wouldn't survive, or you just hide in a corner,
Just
or
be
blah blah
scared
blah.
the whole time.
Just be scared the whole time. I would be scared the whole time, Dan. I think you're absolutely right. But it would make me stronger. When I'm most scared, I think
Explain.
the most clearly, like a
Your gameplay would
an
suggest
arrow.
otherwise, Dave.
Woohoo! There we go. I'm glad we got that out of the way. So it's hard. Yeah, it's quite a broad question. I mean, it would feel kind of easier to answer if there was like a specific situation. Like I said, like we were at work, we just had lunch.
Okay,
Then the
so
news happened.
If the zombie apocalypse breaks out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
Right.
you just finished lunch in the office.
Right.
What's your plan?
Okay. Well, I would. What would be my big concerns? I would first of all, the first bit's going to be the worst bit. When it breaks, the news breaks, everyone's going to go crazy. The people will be as much a problem as the zombies, I think. Everyone will, like, people without plans, the fools, they'll be running to the train station.
Yeah.
They'll be, getting on buses. They'll be driving their cars, just driving them somewhere. I don't know what their plan is. Just let's all get on the motorway. It'll be quick. No, I am very much, like a sheep. I'd like to be shepherded. I'd hope to find a group of people with a leader, a great leader who I would respect, who would just say, Dave, you're washing up today. And I'd be like, sure, no worries.
I need you to do the provisions run.
Absolutely.
It's
What?
okay, you
Not
can
the
join
run.
my squad.
No, washing up. I thought we'd agreed washing up.
Not leave the camp.
Yeah, I don't need to leave the camp. I'm doing camp logistics. I've made a spreadsheet. But in terms of finding a group like that, well, first of all, I'd look to you guys in the office. I'd be like, guys, what are we saying? I mean, Rob, you live in a very remote location.
I've got my own plan, Dave.
But no, I know, but I'm talking to you. I'm talking you through my plan. This is me. I'm going, Rob, you live in a very remote location. How about we stick together and we go to your very remote location? Huh? That could work.
I'll answer your question when I talk about my plan.
Aside from that, if it's the world of resi, herbs are important. I would look for something. I was thinking garden centre, or farm, somewhere where it's already kind of like an agricultural situation going on that I can easily make the most of. Obviously, farms and garden centres are owned by people, so there's the whole general public situation again. But my home is just useless to me. I live in a flat, in a block of flats. That's no good. Other people, not safe. But I do like the height. So maybe a roof. I'd be up for a roof. It's very cold though. So there's that. I don't know. I think I've got nothing. I just want to find the group of people. I would just hope to find the group of people with the illustrious leader who I can just follow endlessly. I think I'd go to the supermarket. Food would be a big concern. And they've got roofs. They're quite industrial, aren't they? You could get up on the roof there.
Yeah.
Weapon-wise, I
You
mean,
want one in like an industrial park, though, not one of these ones in the centre of town. One of the ones that you have to drive to.
right?
It
Yeah.
doesn't have lots of
That's the
buildings
problem,
around
though. I
it.
don't have a car, so getting places would be an issue. But
There'll be cars left on the street. You can
yeah, I know. But I did mention about all the people and their stupid "let's go on the motorway" thing. There'll be cars everywhere, cars on fire. People just driving cars willy-nilly down the pavements and stuff. Maybe a motorbike would be good. A motorbike.
You could become a biker fiend.
I'd become a biker. I'd get a bike. Okay, this is it. This is the plan. First thing, find a bike.
push bike.
Motorbike.
What if we have no more petrol?
There's petrol stations. There'll be petrol for a while. I'll be able to siphon it off all the cars that
Do you
people
know
have
how to
abandoned.
siphon petrol?
You just need a tube.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Because in the movies they make it look so simple. Just stick a tube in the car.
It
And
is.
Suck it a bit. And
It
all
is.
Comes
That's
out.
it. It's all to do with physics. Last thing was maybe a weapon. I'm gonna get a motorbike. I'm going to drive to a relatively kind of remote giant supermarket. There are going to be other people there, but I'm going to just appeal to their good nature. But I'm going to need a weapon, and I don't really have a good plan for a weapon. I mean, we don't have, really have guns. I wouldn't know if someone said, if this happened, I would have no idea where I could get a gun apart from like a farmer's house. So it's going to have to be a melee weapon. But I would go with Rosie's idea of something that's for bashing, not for slicing.
Right.
Not like a knife.
Yeah, slicing. A
baseball bat would be great because it's relatively light. And it's like a good kind of length, so they're not really close to you, and you could properly swing that. I think I'd like that. So cricket bat, perfect.
And you can customise it as well, put a few nails in there.
Yeah, write my name on it. I could scratch every time I smashed a zombie's head in.
See, you could put, that would be so
That would be
cool.
good.
Lucille.
That would work. Lucille, exactly. Yeah. Priscilla.
Okay, so if we're going with the scenario that the zombie apocalypse breaks out while we are at work, say 2 p.m, that's the time we're going for.
And I turn to you and I say, Rob, you live in quite a How about we stick together?
Rob says no.
The first thing I would do, because at 2 p.m...
If it's murder us, then I don't find that uncomfortable.
Not going to murder you. The first thing I would do, I would phone my wife, who at 2 p.m. will be at home because she doesn't work until later in the day. She works night shifts. And I do live in a remote area, as you say. I live in a semi-detached house. Our neighbours are quite nice. On our road, there's like a handful of houses about half a mile down the road. We live in a very rural community, country lane. So I'd phone my wife and say, lock all the doors. Get the dog inside. Open the door.
Would be good for this.
Open the door for no one.
Except
me, because
Dave.
I'm coming home now. And
Dave
then
gets there first. Let him in.
I would. This is tough.
Go on.
I think I would just slip out the office.
I knew it! I called it! I knew it!
I would just slip out, and I would get home. Not by train, not by car, even though I drive into work. I would attempt to walk home. Because I imagine at this point, everyone would be going mad, people would be getting in their cars. I'm imagining at this stage, the place isn't overrun by zombies. At the moment, the place is overrun by panicking people with a few zombies. So I'm hoping that the zombies' attention, what zombies there are, they'll be drawn towards the crowds of panicking people. And I am gonna calmly and quietly walk from the office to my house, which I imagine would take me about 2 hours in total.
I'd probably walk as well, thinking about it. I didn't think about how I'm actually going to get home, but a train is a no-go.
Yeah, I'd be going cross-country, just, keeping a lookout, making sure I'm not in any confined areas, probably fields. I'd be sticking to fields if I can, where I can. I know like a quiet country route. I'd get back home. I think my plan would be to use my house as like a base of operations. I think it's pretty secure. There are not many people who live around there. Like the closest town is 6 miles away. So I'm assuming there's not going to be many people around where I am. So it's not going to attract massive hordes of zombies. If any zombies are going to come out to where I am, it's going to be like a straggler, like a confused one.
Your neighbour.
Maybe my neighbour, I think I try and make some kind of pact with my neighbour. My neighbour is, he does windows, he does stained glass windows, like he fixes them and he fits them, and he's very handy. He's got lots of tools. He's got a really good garage with lots of tools in it. He's got a motorbike, he's got a van.
A motorbike?
Yeah, he's got a motorbike and a van.
Well, now I know it's a motorbike.
I have no skills to offer him, really, other than the fact I'm really good at playing video games, and I try and sell him on the fact that I've played zombie games before.
See, just like me, base it all on your knowledge of games.
I know what I'm doing. We're in a good place here in the country. We stick together. We can survive this. We've got a van to move around. If we need to move around, just one of us, you can go on your bike.
No, I'm having the bike.
I also live quite close to a motorway service station. Which I can get into via a back entrance. I don't have to go on the motorway to get there. And so if I need to do like a goods run, I figure a stealthy operation into the motorway service station via the back entrance is probably a good viable way to do it. I don't need to go into town to go to a supermarket. And so my plan would be to hole up at home.
It's pretty good.
For as long as possible. In terms of weapons, like, I think I would go with a combo of a long-reaching blunt implement for stunning zombies. Like I've got, rolling pin is what I'm thinking. I've got a decent rolling pin.
Right.
And then I'd have like a close-range knife to like finish them off. Because traditionally you need to get them in the brain, right? So a massive blow to the head is probably just going to stun them. When they're stunned, like in The Walking Dead, you get in quick with your knife and knife up through the chin into the brain. Just bash with the pin, in with the knife, and then out. Yeah. That would be my plan. And I'm just hoping that I don't get too many zombies in my area.
What if you do?
If I do, well,
get in the van.
Then I think we have to take a road trip in the van. In terms of contingency plan, like, I might have to murder my neighbour. If he does prove untrustworthy and take control of his van and everything. I think in the end it would have to come to that. Like, you can't trust anyone in these scenarios because even if they do have the best of intentions, you just don't know. Like, I've got to look out. All I'm thinking about is me, my wife, my daughter.
Yeah. Do you know what I think would happen if this happens?
Right.
I hope it doesn't. That you go and you do that, your plan. I'd go and I'd do my plan. Let's assume that I survive.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, Dan. In like a year's time, when things have really settled down, I'll be like, we'll all be starting to kind of expand our areas a little bit, and I'll come across the Rob Pearson gang that you've built, this weird cult who are all wearing like just leather straps, and you're carried around on a chair. And I'll just be like, Rob,
part of my plan.
I'll be carried in and I'll be like, Rob, I know you, Rob, it's me. And you're just like, just nothing. Just
I don't know him.
You, like, even if you do remember who I am, you're just like, you're nothing to me. And I'd be ceremonially fed.
That's not like that.
To you guys. No, it doesn't go well.
That wouldn't be part of my plan.
No,
I mean,
it's not your plan. I'm just saying.
I don't think I'd create a gang. I wouldn't have any interest in any people joining. I want fewer people. Fewer people attract less attention. I know traditionally these are the kind of people that eventually will be raided and robbed by big roving gangs of survivors. But I think you just have to you plan for to survive for as long as you can where you are and hope that you manage to ride it out.
So the zombie apocalypse. Are we going with the 2 o'clock scenario again for me?
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
So it's 2 o'clock.
In the
and
office.
Dave announces,
guys, have you seen this?
it's the zombie apocalypse. But I've already seen it on Twitter 10 minutes before.
Oh.
So I already know. If I don't tell anyone else, I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Oh, really?
Because I'm pretty calm about this sort of thing, I don't get stressed out about zombie apocalypses.
So you're even there in the office at 2 o'clock? Or have you gone
Yeah,
at
I'm there.
5 to 2?
I'm
You're
there.
like, oh, see you guys
I'm
in
there.
a minute.
I'm just going to wait and see how you'll react.
Okay.
This is perfect for me, right? Because I'm the patient gamer.
Oh, God.
I'm also the patient apocalypse survivor.
Right.
I was thinking about this earlier downstairs, and zombie apocalypse is just what I need right now.
What?
Why?
Because I've got loads of stuff to do. I've got a backlog. I've got a backlog of chores at home, right? Like, I could do some decorating, I was thinking about, right? And I can't do it at the moment because there's loads of stuff going on in my life. If the apocalypse happens, that just puts everything else on hold for a bit.
It puts everything on hold.
Exactly, like
indefinitely.
I will stop checking Twitter
So
because it will just stop updating.
The apocalypse is an opportunity for you to get some DIY.
I can be more productive. Yes, definitely. I can just go home, just lock the doors and windows, maybe put some boards up, keep the lights off. It'll be quite dark actually when to do some decorating. I'll keep the lights on, but board up the windows, and just get to work. Just do some productive stuff.
But if you're like painting, then the fumes are gonna get all in like, because you shut the windows
true.
and stuff.
How would you get home, Dan? What would you use to board up your windows, and how would you survive?
Well, I don't know. I've not thought about the specific details. How would I get home?
Would you walk?
I would probably walk, yes. I would wait for all of you guys to leave the office. You've already got your plans. You're going to be panicking, you're going to be running around, thinking, I've got to get home, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I just wait for you all to leave, and then maybe wait till it gets dark. I'm just going to wait here until it gets dark. You've all gone. You've all gone off on your own. Then it gets dark, and so maybe the big rush has already passed. Right? Zombies have poured through the town. Everyone's panicked and ran off. The zombies have cleared it out. There's just an eerie silence. Then I just make my move. Just out the front door, just take a stroll. Just off I go. I live about 12, 15 miles from home, so it's going to take me a bit longer to walk home.
Yeah.
Maybe like 4 or 5 hours. But that's fine. I've got all the time in the world. There's apocalypse, so I've got nothing else to...
I love the idea of you just walking through a field whistling. You're so happy.
I can finally do all these things.
I can do the decorating.
My living room.
I'm really actually quite looking forward to it.
I hope you've already got all the paint you need though, Dan, because...
It doesn't matter. I can stop on the way. Go and get the paint. The shops. I haven't got to pay for the paint anymore. I can just stroll in, get the paint.
What's your living situation like though, Dan? Don't you live in close proximity to other people?
Yes, it's kind of a cul-de-sac environment. Yeah.
Concerned about that, Dan? Any worries?
Dangerous.
Worries there? Do you trust your neighbours to not become zombies?
Not really. I don't really trust any of them. But it's quite quiet. So it is a cul-de-sac, but it's quite quiet where I live. So I'm just assuming I'm not going to see anyone. Just to hope that no one else is going to be around. Either they've all already turned to zombies and they've left, or they've all got the same idea as me and they just hunkered down in their houses with boarding up. And everyone just wants to get on and do their own thing, which is what I'm going to do.
You seem to be betting on the fact that zombies are just going to leave. Like, you're going to wait until night, but wouldn't the infection have grown and then they'd linger in the
Well,
city?
I sort of feel like zombies don't hang around, do they?
Panicking people would have been either killed or turned into zombies.
Well, I feel like if there's an apocalypse happening, people tend to run away from the zombies, right? And the zombies chase after them. They don't just zombies don't just become zombies and just wait for people to turn up, do they?
Well, they're kind of confused, so they're just sort of like, loitering.
Until they get the scent of living flesh.
And then they charge.
I mean, there's not any one kind of zombie, so, maybe you're right.
Maybe it's a big zombie. Right. I told you, be careful of them.
Maybe I paint myself with the DIY paint I've stolen from the home base. Then they can't smell me.
Like Goldfinger.
That I can go anywhere at any time.
That's quite a good idea.
It's
actually.
perfect.
Gold man.
To be fair, painting yourself isn't a bad shout.
All you guys are bringing to this are problems, and I'm bringing solutions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I just pray it doesn't happen.
Me too. Rob, you've heard all the solutions there. Who would survive the longest out of all these people?
Why
You've
is it?
heard?
To me, I think I would survive the longest.
Yeah.
I thought you would say that.
I think Rosie would have a good chance if she wasn't so trusting. I think you're too trusting of other people, Rosie.
You might harden me up though. Like if we join forces, you might teach me the ways of being more selfish.
We wouldn't join forces. I wouldn't trust anyone.
I'm sure like after a while I'll probably be like more every man for himself, apart from my one trusted person.
Yeah.
But
we're all going to die, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we're all going to die.
I tried draining my pond that way, it didn't work.
No, it's because you have to be... It's amazing! It's because you have to be below it. You have to be below.
Oh.
It's physics. I love that you just thought... This is the best thing that's ever happened. You tried to drain your pond by putting a tube in it and just sucking. That's just like a straw. That's just drinking.
People told me that's how you did it. Siphon a pond.
Oh.
People
No,
said
if you
that
could get
siphoning
below
a
the pond, it would work.
Well, you can't get below a pond, can you? Because it's on the
But
ground.
if it was a risen pond, or if you dug a pit, you could. But yeah, I agree, Rob. That's why I'm saying that your plan to siphon it wasn't very good. They might be talking of like using a pump to pump it out, but it's the siphoning is it's physics. You have to be below the source. So here's the petrol tank.
I did go.
I
went down.
Here.
I put a hose in it and
You have
went
to
down
suck it over the
hill, so I was
little bit.
below the level of the pond.
Right.
And I was told that would work, and it did.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I don't know where this has gone now. So I think.
That was how I was told to do it, Dave. It's really not that funny. Let us know in the comments which of us you think would survive the longest, and please let us know your own zombie apocalypse plans. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all our content, and join us again next week for another Tuesday checklist.
For the players.